Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another episode of Magical Herb Education. So for today's Magical Herb Education, we're going to discuss the foliage, the shrubbery, if you will, of holly. Ooh, look at his fancy holly. Look at those great old berries. Those old berries there. So holly, I found, not only do I grow this in my yard, as I do have I think I have like 3 different bushels or shrubberies of these hollies. First and foremost, you should know that if you're working with holly in some sort of magical way, you do not need to eat it or ingest it in any way. It is poisonous to people and it's poisonous to pets, so keep it clear from them, especially if it's in your stores or whatever in your room, your magical room for storage. You just keep it out of the way of pets. You want to make sure that that happens for sure. Some of the uses that you could go through and use holly for would be banishing, revenge, protection, commanding spirits, which I'm like, rude, and consecration, just to name a few. During Yule, the folklore that I looked up, or the research that I found, is that when you bring the holly indoors, it actually invites the fairy folk to get through the winter with you. And isn't that awesome? But you have to make sure that you burn the holly that you have brought indoors during Yule time in bulk, because the fairy folk will stay around and cause mischief. So you want to make sure that you burn the holly then and there in bulk. Isn't that funny? I just thought that was kind of a cute little tidbit there. There's over 400 species of holly. There's actually a male and a female, like most plants, but I didn't even think of this. And then I had to go and look at my holly that I have, and sure enough, there is a male version which has no prickles, and it's called a he holly. This actually has a little bit of a prickle, but anyhow, you see how smooth the leaves are here? This is more than likely a he holly. Then female does have prickles, a she holly, if you will. Look at those prickles. I'm telling you, just like nature, we're gonna get you, us females. Anyway, the plant is associated with the planet Saturn and the element of fire. If you're going to be using holly for spell work, holly can be used excuse me, in consecration and in spells for material gain, physical revenge. I'm like, whoa. Beauty, protection, luck, and dream magic. The holly itself, you can dry out. I've seen where people are just utilizing the berries or just utilizing the leaves. Sometimes it's just used in decor. People will plant it outside their home and for protection, as well as magical protection and all different kinds of things. Or they bring it indoors to offer that protection, not only outside their home but inside their home. There are different ways to make like an herbal water with holly, and you use that for protection properties as well. And obviously you grow it outside your home. That's another thing. The last thing that I found out about holly, and I know this is going to be a quick little video here, but the last thing I found about holly is that the wood from the holly bush down further actually burns very, very hot. Very, very hot, and it's actually good for wand making because it's super strong. The wood itself is strong. This is just the little twig of the branch that I have left here, and that is pretty much it. So you can burn it for ritual fires. So at the time of Imbolc, which we are coming up on, we are I think we finished with Yule and we're still in winter, obviously, but when it comes to Imbolc in February, I believe, this is a very good thing that you could use to not only cleanse your home, create that protection force field, if you will, get the fairy folk to move on for the spring. but it's also very good for ritual fire. So that connection for me in bulk is one of Yule and in bulk. And I know everybody loves Samhain. I know everybody loves Samhain. Any witch will love a Samhain, right? I love Yule. I love Yule. And I also really, really love in bulk. My name is Ravenflower. I'm in the garden. I do the gardening stuff. And for me, in bulk is just like the beginning of that. I'm planning out my garden. I'm doing all kinds of other stuff, which brings me to another video that I will be doing shortly about all of the different things that I plan on in planting in my garden in February. Once I'm healed up a little bit, I can get on out there and start, digging up, getting the earth ready for planting, fertilizing, doing all that stuff. And then I'm going to be gritting out the garden and getting ready to plant. And this year I intend on doing quite a few more flowers than I do actual vegetables, because the vegetables take up a lot of room and it takes so long for them to grow. It's wonderful when you do get them, but it's often difficult because I run out of space very quickly. So that is a thing. So yeah, here is holly, the magical holly, both female and male. Isn't that interesting? Have a blessed magical day.